Welcome back to another Friday morning water cooler right here on the Kenikka Sports Channel. And yes, indeed, we got to talk about some baseball this morning. The awards are in. We have got to talk about the Bulls because the Bulls have started to struggle after that hot 6-1 start. The Blackhawks, are they back? I think they might be. Okay. They've entered the chat, everybody. And last but not least, we got to talk about all the fallout from John Cena's final Boston appearance on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown surprises for tonight, everybody. It is time for the Friday morning water cooler. Yes, indeed. But first, we must ask you to please like this video, please subscribe to this channel, and please ring that bell, especially for our mascot, Freckles, a.k.a. Frexy. She is outside right now enjoying a little Friday morning bone. Good morning, Nika. Happy Friday.
Hello, Kenny, and hello to our new and returning listeners from all over the world. Welcome to the water cooler.
Absolutely. We got a lot to talk about. I didn't mention the biggest topic of the hour, Nika,
oh, really?
Which is the news that broke yesterday. The remaining Seidler family has decided to at least explore the idea of selling the San Diego Padres, a.k.a. let me break that down for you. They're going to sell the Padres.
Oh, the Padres are for sale.
The San Diego Padres are for sale, everybody. And this is a sad ending, I think, to a story that began last winter with the widow of the deceased, Peter Seidler, Sheil Seidler, suing and basically saying that she is the rightful heir to the Padres. And the Seidlers just basically ignored that. They went ahead with the vote. They got approved by Major League Baseball, and John Seidler became the new chairman of the Padres. And now he's announcing that they are exploring the idea of selling the team, which I think most people interpret to say like they want out.
They do. They squeezed the widow out, and now they want to sell the team because it's too much responsibility. They don't want
yeah,
bigger.
that's the dirty part about all of this, I guess. It really feels more and more like they've gone against their dead brother's wishes. And $2 billion will do that to people, I guess, because that's supposedly what the Padres are worth. And as their role right now, they're taking on the debt that the team needs to pay off. And this buyout would get them clearly out of debt and set up for the future. And
of course.
It's hard to argue with it, but at the same time, it's not what the dead brother wanted. It's certainly what the wife has been arguing for the last 11 months, I guess. Here we are in November. And so it's just, this whole ugly situation is just sad to me. I don't know what is going to happen to the San Diego Padres from here, honestly. They could get sold to a hedge fund and just become like similar to the Chicago Tribune owning the Cubs in the 90s, where it's like, oh, we're going to capitalize off of all the goodwill that Peter Seidler built with the San Diego community and just kind of pretend to put out a competitive product every year as long as the seats are full.
As long as the seats are full and the long contracts that they do have are offloaded, they're going to wash their hands off of this. Why would they keep it?
Yeah, I mean,
there's too much problems and too much lawsuits and
too much backloaded contracts on the Padres team. I mean, they owe Yu Darvish 2 more years and of like what, 40 something or
he's gonna be 40.
But how many millions of dollars do they owe him?
A lot.
And he's not even going to pitch this year. He had elbow surgery already.
That's just one player.
I know, but that's just one example of a backloaded contract. Not to mention you have 3 players, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, and Fernando Tatis Jr., that come 2028, 2029, they're going to be costing you over $100 million for the 3.
Yeah.
And those Machado dollars and those Bogaerts dollars are going to be worth, how are they going to be looking 3 years from now, 4 years from now? They're not going to be looking so good based on what we've seen in the past 2 to 3 years.
That's true. And they are aging players at the same time. Yeah. So it's going to be really hard to get those contracts offloaded. The only chance of offloading a contract has Fernando Tatis Jr.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because that's where I want to go to next. Our good old friend, Bob Boob Nightingale, USA Today baseball columnist, president of the Baseball Writers Association of America. Let's go back to Sunday really quick. Sunday morning, he posts this weekly baseball column, and The 10 biggest MLB hot stove questions from top free agents to latest trade rumors as the GM meetings begin in Vegas. If you'll remember right now, the general managers from all over Major League Baseball are meeting together and toasting each other and congratulating each other on another job well done. Even though only the Dodgers won the World Series, they're all descending upon Vegas together to have one of their powwows. So all the journalists are, of course, there too, and there's lots of rumors, and teams are kind of letting other teams know what they're looking for this offseason, what they might be willing to spend this offseason. They're telling agents like, hey, like the Pirates, for example, hey, we are going to take on some new money this year. Agents love to hear that stuff.
Of course. It's money in their pocket.
Anyways, that's what's happening right now in Vegas, but it's led to a lot of the rumor mill starting to get churning. And so Bob posts this column Sunday morning, and in his list of the 10 biggest MLB hot stove questions, we get all the way down to number 9 at the bottom. Who's on the MLB trading block? And you start to see some big names right off the bat. Minnesota Twins starters Joe Ryan and Pablo Lopez. Cincinnati Reds ace Hunter Green. So right away, you get those big name starters on the small market teams that are being dangled as trade pieces this year. I mean, if I'm a Reds fan, I'm pissed off reading this. We just made the playoffs for the first time in a few years, and what, we're going to give away our best pitcher now? Like,
to go where? To the Dodgers?
Yeah. I know that, you know, these guys are getting more and more expensive, but you have to spend money if you want to keep up in this league.
Yes.
It's just become that relevant. But anyways, you get all the way into the middle of this list, and lo and behold, here it is. San Diego Padres all-star right fielder Fernando Tatis Jr. He's on the trading block? Really, Nika? Well, this is what he wrote. They certainly don't want to trade him and still may not listen now, but with all of their bloated and backloaded contracts, someone is going to eventually have to depart, and no one making big money has more trade value than Tatis, whose 14-year, $340 million contract suddenly looks rather reasonable.
That's true.
And Padres fans did not respond well to this at all. They said, you know, there's zero chance of this happening. Bob, for all his intents and purposes, he went on foul territory the next day, Monday morning, and doubled down on this. He says, when you talk to general managers, they say the Padres are in big-time trouble and they're losing money. Considering the amount of backloaded contracts the Padres have, could Fernando Tatis Jr. be on the move? ? That's what Foul Territory wrote. But this is Bob basically saying that the Padres are losing money right now, and it's because of these backloaded contracts, and that sooner or later, you know, the Grim Reaper is going to come calling to collect. Okay. And that they're not going to be able to put a product even on the field while they're paying 3 guys this much money. And
okay, but they also fill up the stadium every single time the game is on.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if we have concrete evidence that the Padres are losing money. It's just Bob saying this.
Where's the receipts?
I don't see any evidence of that because we haven't seen the books yet. You know, like the Brooksgate numbers from last year that came out in March. You know, that's when they showed what the 2024 revenue versus the 2025 expenditures were, you know, and how much of their profits were getting reinvested to the team. And the Padres reinvested 64% of their profits. So I'm just confused on where this talk of them losing money comes from. Obviously, when you see now that they want to sell the team.
Is it possible that this whole situation is being driven by the lawsuit?
It's tough to know for sure. But Bob Nightingale, then on Thursday, so a couple days passed by, San Diego Kevin Acee, first of all, got a response from the Padres that said they are emphatically not trading Tatis.
Okay.
Which is kind of ironic because this is the same organization that said that the team is not going to be for sale just in February of this year. And now in November, they're saying the team might be for sale.
Okay.
Bob Nightingale, people aren't happy with him. He was the first person I saw that posted this yesterday, that the Seidler family is looking to explore strategic options for the San Diego Padres, looking for investors, and the franchise could be sold. I mean, I don't think there's any ifs about it personally. I think they're trying to sell the team.
I believe that.
Absolutely. Everything we know about this, like we've barely heard a peep out of John Seidler, by the way.
Of
Barely
course.
a peep. Bob, right after he posted this yesterday, he redoubles down and says, this is why rival GMs believe at some point in the future the Padres will be looking to move some of their long-term contracts. And here we see Ken Rosenthal also, Padres could be sold, and everyone was posting the same statement from the Seidler family. You can go read it for yourself, or you can read it off of our screen if you want, but I'm not going to read it. It's fluff. It's marketing fluff, and it's a bunch of nothing. It's a big nothing burger. If I were to just read through the lines of any of this, it's that they are absolutely looking to get out and sell the team. And it will
make money
take a dramatic turn of events for them to keep it. When you read Bob's tweet about why rival GMs feel like the Padres will be looking to move some of their big long-term contracts, and like just you and I spitballing here, that Tatis is really the only one that's going to be of interest to any teams, right? So he becomes the guy.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel more and more that he's going to get traded someday.
Oh, he should. It'll be the best thing for him.
Well, and that's another thing. If you're Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres dangle Albert Pujols as your manager in front of you, and then
backtrack,
they decide to hire a relief pitcher instead, and he's from the front office, from the same group that's now going to turn around and sell the team. There's a lot of fishiness going on behind the scenes here. I don't know what the hell is going on with the Padres. Oh, by the way, AJ Preller, who was supposed to get that guaranteed 2-year extension and be on the same timeline as Craig Stammen, hasn't signed yet. And you just have to wonder what he feels about this news, because a new owner is going to probably want to bring in their own president of baseball operations / general manager. And does he have a future in San Diego? He might have wanted to take that Rockies job that got filled. Oops.
He might. Well, there's another one somewhere probably waiting for him. But at the same time, why would you want to be in an organization that is being gutted eventually?
That's my thing. When is Fernando going to go to the Padres and say, I want to be traded because you've turned this whole team into a shit show, and I don't want to waste the prime of my career. He's turning 27, by the way, right before the season starts in January. That's when you enter your prime ages as a baseball player. Why do I want to waste my prime years with a shit show organization that doesn't have their crap together, doesn't know what they want to be? In fact, they have no clue because they're selling the team to someone else. So we have no idea what lies on the other side. I would be barking up a storm already and be like, let's just get this over with and trade me so I can figure out where I'm going to cement my career. Yeah. I don't want to be traded when I'm 30. I don't want to waste 3 years playing for a dog shit organization.
And
I love my teammates, but this isn't about that anymore.
I know,
this is about my legacy as a player.
You have to be a little bit selfish at this point because you're not going to get where you want to get in your life or career with the Padres.
That's my advice to Fernando, honestly, is to be like, you know what? Go and use your power now and demand a trade and get out of there.
Yeah.
Just do what Devers did. Do what all these... His contract was tradable. Yours is definitely tradable. 9 years, $290 million left. That's almost the same money. And if you're offering me Tatis or Devers, a Gold Glove fielder with the potential to be a 30, 40 player under the right management, coaches, I bet could unlock something more in him.
Maybe Cubs will take him.
Oh, that would be a dream come true for me. I don't want to dream about that. Let's move on.
Sure.
We got to talk about the baseball awards, Nika. Oh, the whole Padres situation has turned me so much off to baseball talk right now. And yet, here we go. We have the baseball awards this week, and we get the establishment baseball media thrown right down our throats.
Oh.
Shoved right down our throats, maybe is a better way to put it. I want to start with the MVP in the National and American League. Obviously, Ohtani won MVP. I don't think anyone should be shocked here. The legend continues. This is his fourth, I think, unanimous MVP.
Wow, nice.
His second straight National League MVP, back to back.
No surprise there.
No surprise. Now, in the American League, it was a little different. I guess prevailing thought and wisdom ahead of this prevailed. It was Aaron Judge winning his second straight MVP in the American League. So a lot of parity here in baseball. We get back-to-back MVPs in the National League and the American League. More on that in a minute. But I wanted to show the American League vote totals here because it was close. We were literally 2 votes away from a tie. And I don't know what happens if there's a tie, honestly. I don't know if they have co-MVPs or what, which I think maybe would have been the best outcome here. Like, I wish we could have had a backroom meeting about this and figured out a way for the voters to be like, let's get a 15-15 final here and get co-MVPs. It's not as sexy maybe for the winner-take-all crowd or whatever, but this is one of those that's going to go down, I think, in history. OptaStats posted this. Since the Baseball Writers Association of America began awarding the MVP in 1931.
Oh, wow.
94 years ago, Cal Raleigh is the only MLB player to hit 60 homers for a playoff team and not win the MVP.
That's shitty.
It's kind of comical in a way because not many players have ever even hit 60 home runs. So, like Mark McGwire, for example, hit 70 home runs in 1998, and he didn't win the MVP either. So I think they're using a little bit of a cherry-picking stat here to create drama and create argument. But I do want to point out that I feel like Cal Raleigh should have won MVP here and that the baseball writers missed this one more than a bit.
East Coast bias?
Well, not just that, but look, Aaron Judge, as we just said, he has MVPs already. It's not like he's never going to be up for another one again either. He's certainly capable of doing what he's done. He didn't even have the best numbers of his career this year. He did have amazing numbers. Don't get me wrong. And you can make an argument that he is the MVP. You can. My argument is that this is more like an Academy Award when you have 2 players up for the award and you have one that's never won it and you have one that already has a couple in his closet and probably will be up for a couple more in the future versus a guy that may never do what he did last season again. And you missed that. You know, that's what I think is the bullshit in all of this, is that this should have been remembered as the season of Cal. You know, it really should. I mean, he performed out in the playoffs too. I know they vote before then, but to know that it was this close now, 17-13, that makes me even angrier. Like if Judge would have been unanimous or won 25-5, then so be it. You know, but knowing that it was this close makes me even more irked, I think. You know, because it's like, what were these other 2 or 3 writers that could have flipped? What was their thinking and prevailing thought with this? Like, I hate the Moneyball numbers. You take your eye off the greater narrative, you know? And I'm sorry, Aaron Judge will never wear shin guards. He will never wear a chest protector. He will never wear a catcher's mask.
No.
He never will. He never will. And he's... So I will never, ever understand that argument. Like, you don't know. He can't take it. He couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
He won't be able to do it.
His body wouldn't be able to hold up for a week probably wearing catcher's equipment, let alone a full season.
Yeah. Well,
it just irks me. It just irks me that less people want to look at that part of the argument. They don't want to be biased or they don't want to be unbiased.
It's just easier that way.
It really truly is. Anyways, we got what we got. We got the Ohtani and the Judge, and we got history. For the first time in Major League Baseball, we have back-to-back MVP winners in both the American and National League in 2 consecutive seasons. Ohtani and Judge keep breaking the record books. That's from ESPN. I mean, that kind of leads me to believe that this is the story the establishment media wanted. Cal Raleigh be damned.
Yeah.
So
it's the marketing and narrative that they crafted.
And that just makes it even worse. And this is what's making baseball become unlikable already, you know? And I hope they don't piss away all their goodwill that they've built up. And I just feel like it's coming, you know, that when the lockout hits next year and people aren't going to understand all the mechanics behind it and they're just going to lose interest.
Yeah.
And be like, when's football season starting? Hey, look at this guy, Paul Skeens. He wins his first Cy Young Award, finishing with a 1.97 ERA, 216 strikeouts, and 187 innings pitched. I mean, yeah, those are nice numbers. Whatever. The Pirates are whatever. It's not like they're a winning team. Not like this guy's Tarek Skubal, who he did it again. Back-to-back Cy Youngs for him. I like Tarek Skubal's season a lot better than Paul Skeens here. Like, it's more semantics. I mean, I think they already had their minds made up who was going to win these awards when the season ended. I want to jump ahead to the manager of the year really fast. It was Pat Murphy in the NL and Stephen Vogt for the Cleveland Guardians with his second straight manager of the year award. Do you think that they missed John Schneider here? I kind of feel like they did. He won it last year, and the Blue Jays shocked the world and win the AL East. No one had that at the beginning of the year, and yet they go with the Cleveland guy just because they had such a dramatic comeback. I mean, you could also make the argument that they downplayed to their competition for a good chunk of the year, too.
Sure.
I don't get this one at all. Are the East Coast biased writers that pissed off that they beat the Yankees?
Potentially.
Jeez. Like, instead of congratulating the guy for it, you punish him?
Oh, yeah, double down.
Oh, makes me even angrier with the writers that they did this bullshit.
Like you said, it was prearranged already.
And it got worse for me, and we're going to go back to Monday with the Rookie of the Year, and you want to talk about one of the most inconsistent things that exists is these awards. I don't think there's any metrics of consistency that these folks use except for where they're from and what team they play for. Nick Kurtz, by no surprise, was the American League Rookie of the Year, and he deserved it. He had some amazing games. He had an amazing season. I think he hit like 3 home runs one game in Houston. Anyways, he hit a cycle in that game. Big rookie season from Nick Kurtz. But this is where it gets interesting. Drake Baldwin, the catcher for the Atlanta Braves, wins Rookie of the Year. And this was kind of a shocker because I think most people had Cade Horton, the Cubs starter, locking down the Rookie of the Year award. And I don't know what to say about this. You know, this is what I want to say. Last year, we got Paul Skeens winning Rookie of the Year, despite the fact that he pitched only in from the middle of May on. He missed 6 weeks at the start of the season. And the race in the National League was between him and Jackson Merrill of the Padres. And Jackson Merrill put up a .294 batting average with 24 home runs and 92 RBIs in his rookie season. And yet this year, a similar situation. You have Drake Baldwin and Cade Horton, starting pitcher, called up after the season started, but was by far the Cubs' best pitcher down the stretch. In fact, probably could make an argument that he pitched them into the playoffs or helped maintain their position, became their best pitcher down the stretch. Unfortunately, missed some of the playoffs because of an injury. But had they moved on, he would have come back. Nevertheless, it's inconsistent because based on last year's vote, Cade Horton should have been the National League Rookie of the Year, and yet a player that had 5 less home runs than Jackson Merrill last year and hit for 20 points less in a batting average and had almost 20 RBIs less, he wins Rookie of the Year this year. Like, make it make sense for me. Last year, I felt strongly that Jackson Merrill deserved Rookie of the Year, not because of Paul Skeens having a bad season or anything like that, but because he played the whole season and he did it at a new position and did it at a level above what was predicted. No one had that. Versus everyone has been watching Skeens since he came up and was like, they already were preordained. That's my point. And so there's no consistency with it. And this year it was like, oh, well, let's reward the catcher. And it's like
they awarded the wrong catcher.
Yeah.
They should have been Kyle Riley instead of this guy.
They did. Yeah, exactly. Good call. And so that's this whole awards season has just left a bad taste in my mouth. I can't deny it, and with now the Padres being for sale and all of their words feeling more hollow than ever. We fell in love with this team 6 years ago during the COVID season. And we fell out of love with them when they didn't hire Pujols a couple weeks ago. And now we know why they didn't hire Pujols. The baseball awards, it's just leaving a bad taste in my mouth for the 2025 baseball season.
It's unfortunate.
Hey, let's move on. Let's talk about some basketball. We've been following doubles early on in the 2025-26 season for your NBA basketball, which is now back on Peacock, of course. But the Bulls, after starting 6-1, Nika, have now lost 4 in a row. It all started last Friday at Milwaukee. They dropped a game to the Bucks and then to the Cavaliers on Saturday. They come home Monday night against the Spurs, and they lose in dramatic fashion to the Spurs, 121-117. And I want to point out the Bulls were winning this game by 5 points with a minute and 41 seconds left.
And they lost.
And then they also went on Wednesday to lose at Detroit. So it is now 4 in a row. We knew that this would be a bumpy road, so I'm not necessarily surprised. This was a tough stretch of games, man. The Spurs are good. The Cavaliers are good. The Bucks are good. The Pistons are a tough team this year as well. So where does this leave us? Well, Josh Giddey has missed 2 straight games, Nika, and he has an ankle injury. I don't know if the Bulls are just slow playing this. I mean, he's showing up and he's walking without a boot or crutches or anything. It's not a serious thing, and it's been a game time decision. It feels like the last 2 games. Now the Bulls don't play again until Sunday at Utah, so I'm hoping that with this longer 3-day rest here from Wednesday to Sunday, that the extra rest will get him ready to play again because we need him back.
Of course.
And we're playing without Josh Giddey and, of course, Kobe White, who's been out since the season started. And, I mean, those are probably your 2 most prolific scorers. And
what is the
so
time?
It's tough to expect you to win without them.
Of course, and you having played tougher teams on the road.
Yeah.
So that plays a factor.
100%. So we play on the road at Utah. They're not looking as sharp to start the year. I think they were 4-7, but so yeah, let's hopefully we're going to have to go on the road and win games. So we got to get back on the winning track. We are now 6-5 after starting 6-1. So,
well, we knew this. It's going to be a bumpy. Those are baby Bulls.
Baby Bulls, indeed. Speaking of babies, the Blackhawks, everybody.
Baby Hawks?
They are kind of getting back into the national spotlight a little bit. They had a primetime game on Wednesday night against the New Jersey Devils. And when I say primetime, Nika, 8:30 Chicago start time. That is awful.
It is.
Who is scheduling this crap? I mean, so this was part of an HBO Max / TNT Wednesday night doubleheader.
Okay.
And because it's a doubleheader, they don't want the games to overlap. So the Chicago crowd pays the price with an 8:30 start time.
That's rough.
Well, they got their money's worth. They got a little early action from Connor Bedard, who scored a 5-on-3 power play goal here, and it was a beauty. If you were watching, you'll know. It's good to see him continue now a 9-game point streak for the Hawks. But unfortunately for the Hawks, they lost this game in overtime to the New Jersey Devils at home. Nevertheless, the game continues. We have the Maple Leafs coming to town on Saturday night. And we'll see if Connor Bedard can keep that point streak going, everybody. The Hawks, I'm not expecting much as far as like a Stanley Cup trophy this year or anything. Probably a couple players away from being serious contenders, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be watching and having fun and enjoying the development and the growth. That's what it's all about.
Spot on.
And as far as young Chicago teams go, the Bears, everybody, are going to be playing on the road at Minnesota this weekend. And we have our Bears pregame show that we are going to be recording right after this. So stay tuned for that, which will be posted before the game on Sunday. All right, Nika, it is time to turn our attentions once again to the squared circle and talk about our favorite wrestling brand, WWE. And we got to just start right off the bat with the biggest shocking news of the week. John Cena is the Intercontinental Champion, everybody, after defeating Dirty Dominic Mysterio on Monday Night Raw.
That was a surprise match.
That was a surprise match that wound up happening right off the get-go. This was John Cena's final Raw and final appearance in Boston.
His hometown.
His hometown.
We should have known this.
Well, we heard rumors that this match was happening, and then it kind of died for a while. So I guess when in retrospect, I'm not terribly surprised that it happened.
Yes.
But it still is like shocking. Even when you see John Cena's shocking look on his face, you know, he sold it really well that he was not expecting this. But in doing so, Nika, he became a Grand Slam champion. This was his first Intercontinental title championship reign. So he's now held all of the 4 major titles: tag team champions, Intercontinental champion, undisputed WWE champion, and world heavyweight champion. He's had them all. So congratulations to John Cena. This was a bit of a shocker for me. John Cena posted this on X/Twitter, by the way. Thank you, Boston. It meant so much to be able, for one last time, to be allowed an opportunity to do what I love in a place I love, surrounded by those I love. Our performances are only meaningful if you, the audience, invest in us and decide they are. The smile on my face and awe in my eyes in this small clip is an honest show of grateful disbelief and appreciation for all you've invested in me. Last night meant more than I can ever express. Thank you, Boston. And here's Triple H with John Cena, the traditional after championship picture, and the greatest of all time. It's hard to argue with Triple H. But that was just the start of this. We got to turn our attentions to the other half of this match. Dirty Dom. He was lonely after this match, according to WWE Twitter, and was asking, where was the Judgment Day?
That's a very good question. They were absent.
Yes. I mean, Slippery Dom rarely ever wins clean. So when left to his own devices versus John Cena... Ouch. Yeah. Oh, one more funny thing before we move on. Intercontinental champions. It's a greatest of all time thing. This was posted by one Rebecca Quinn, a.k.a. Becky Lynch. We are the greatest wrestlers of all time. It's not us saying it. Everybody says it. Sports Illustrated says it. Bleacher Report says it. Triple H says it. Becky Lynch and John Cena, Intercontinental champions together.
Nice.
An odd couple.
It is.
Speaking of John Cena, the Last Time Is Now tournament also got underway on Raw. This is going to be the big final opponent deciding tournament for John Cena. And Rusev, everybody, gets the upset, in my opinion, here over Damian Priest. I was not expecting that.
Okay.
So Rusev advances, and no surprise, Sheamus took down Shinsuke. The Kabuki Warriors stun and become tag team champions once again. They defeated Blissful Flair here, who had a great run, everybody. Sniffle. Charlotte Flair even posting on X, thank you, Blister, for this run. Love, Alexa Bliss, WWE. And yeah, I'm sad about this one. This was a tag team championship of convenience that I never wanted to end, really. And yet I knew it would, because both of these ladies are just too big of their own individual stars.
And the Kabuki Warriors were
back. You know, they kind of like became a new team again, an old team remade new. And they have this whole new dynamic relationship right now. So I am looking forward to their title reign. Now, this wasn't the end of the drama between these tag teams, because after the match, Lash Legend and Nia Jax appeared, everybody, and began assaulting the Blissful Flair tag team, only to be joined in the ring first by Io Sky and then a returning Mommy who was masked, everybody. I guess she has a face injury to her nose.
Well, she got the nose, not broken, but whatever.
Well, I like it. You know, Rhea Ripley in a black mask. I mean, there's probably some people that aren't sad to see that.
That's cool.
It definitely adds to her character briefly here. But what wound up happening is that because there was a 4-on-4 situation here, War Games got declared by Rhea Ripley in the moment, and it looks like we are going to have our first Women's Survivor Series match of 2025 announced, with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Blissful Flair taking on Nia Jax, Lash Legends, and the Kabuki Warriors.
That is an odd combination.
It is, but I'm here for it, everybody. Yes. That should be a fun Survivor Series match, so let's look forward to that one. Speaking of War Games, the men's War Games gets interesting here with CM Punk, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso declaring themselves a 3-man stable with Adam Pearce backstage. And they are asking for Paul Heyman and his stable. So I'm guessing Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. Now, is there going to be a fourth
I was just gonna
added
ask
to
that.
each team?
Or we're just going to stick with 3s?
I don't know how this is going to proceed, to be honest. We haven't watched WWE in modern times with a Survivor Series. I know what it was like when I was a kid. I know it was always 4-on-4. I would imagine there's going to be an extra guy, and if it is, it's going to be Brock Lesnar for Paul Heyman's team, and I don't know who that leaves, if it's Jimmy Uso or LA Knight or somebody from that.
Okay, we will have to wait and see.
One more Raw reaction I want to get from you, Nika, is this, because Nikki Bella crossed our girl, Stephanie Vaquer, and we called this.
Yes, we did.
We were telling Stephanie, you got to be careful here.
It's a lesson for her. There's no friends in wrestling.
We warned you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And Nikki Bella did do the double cross. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Stephanie Vaquer did post a reaction of her own on X about this. Just 3 simple symbols, ...
Oh.
She didn't know what to say, but she does not appear happy. I'm looking forward to Stephanie Vaquer beating the hell out of Nikki Bella.
Me too.
Because guess what, girl? A WWE diva is no match for La Primera.
No.
Okay? I'm just calling that right now. So if you're a WWE writer and you heard that, don't get any ideas. Okay? Nikki Bella cannot hang with Stephanie Vaquer. Thank you very much. Hey, Nika, we got some SmackDown tonight, and will we see any SmackDown surprises? We got a women's WWE Championship matchup. BFAB is taking on Jade Cargill, everybody. They had a backstage confrontation last week, and now we get a match. Can BFAB shock and win the title? That's what WWE.com is asking. What do you say, Nika?
Absolutely not.
I'm going to agree with you here. Jade Cargill will be leaving with her belt. She's going to get a decent reign here, I think.
Absolutely. And she's going to solidify her championship.
Jade Cargill is an example that WWE needs, I think, to capitalize on here. They need to show that hard work pays off, and that if you do work and up your game, that you will get rewarded for that. So they need to give Jade Cargill a good and decent title run. That's not to say that she won't have her fair share of ups and downs and drama,
course.
but she should prevail for a while.
Definitely.
That's my 2 cents.
Okay.
All right. Well, we have more. John Cena, last time is now tournament matches also happening tonight, including Jey Uso taking on The Miz, everybody. And boy, oh boy, there's no doubt, right? Jey Uso's winning this match.
Oh, no. The Miz is winning.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. He's the biggest John Cena rival.
Well, then there's going to have to be some shenanigans, I would say.
Maybe. I'm going with The Miz.
You're going with The Miz for a shock upset?
Yeah.
Wow, I cannot do that.
Okay.
I feel like the WWE would not pass up on advancing Jey Uso in this tournament.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
So we differ on this one. That's fine.
That's fine. All right, well, one matchup that we know is happening, but that we don't know who is participating in is LA Knight's John Cena tournament matchup, and because he has a mystery opponent.
Sure, but whoever it is, LA Knight is coming on top.
You think so?
Yes.
Wow. We heard so many rumors ahead of this matchup that there's going to be some guest appearances from NXT and possibly some WWE performers that either get loaned out or are between contracts and maybe want to do a one-off. We've heard like Edge or Chris Jericho really going back to the past here.
Okay.
I feel like that's going to be a long shot, but I would welcome it. I would welcome an LA Knight Chris Jericho matchup tonight. And if that happens or something, I don't know if LA Knight advances, but I don't know who he's going to fight. I'm strapped to think of who it's going to be.
Well, it's a surprise.
It is a surprise. Let us know in the comments below who you think LA Knight is going to face. But Nika's got him advancing either way.
Yes.
Without knowing who it is for sure, I can't go there. I can't pick.
Okay,
I really
fine.
can't. So I'm gonna leave this one prediction list. That's probably a disappointment, but my bad. I'm uncommitted.
That's fine.
All right, everybody. Well, that is the SmackDown lineup that we know of for tonight. I'm sure there's going to be more surprises along the way, but for now, this has been another episode of the Friday Morning Water Cooler. I am your host, Kenny, signing off and wishing you a happy weekend and enjoy all of the games and all the matchups that we talked about.